What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is the His and Hers podcast, episode 3.
Face.
I am Jontae Grace, and joining me, we have the lovely.
Sharell Lewis.
Hey, Sharell, how you doing, girl?
Living it up.
That's
Living the
right. That's
dream.
right. Why don't you tell me where you're broadcasting from? I think you're in a new
Oh,
location,
I
aren't
was about
you?
to say.
Huh. Huh.
I am broadcasting from a place affectionately known as T Town,
Hey, hey.
aka Tuscaloosa,
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
home of the Tide.
That's right. That is right. And why are you there, Sherelle?
Because Sharell starts her new job tomorrow
Her
with
new what?
job, Job.
Oh, she got a new job. Where is Sherelle working at? Where is her new job gonna be at?
I believe it's at this place. It's a school.
It's a school. Okay.
Yes.
Have we heard of this school before? Maybe?
You may have.
Might have heard
You
of
may
it.
have. You may have. You may have. I know recently they had one of their coaches in the news because
Oh.
one of his former coaches,
Ooh.
kind of had something to say about him.
Oh, that was kind of messy. That
That was
was
pretty
kind of
messy.
messy.
But it's okay because my favorite coach, Lane Kiffin, came in and defended Mr. Nick Saban because I will be working at the University of Alabama.
Oh, the University of Alabama. Congratulations, first and foremost.
I
That is
appreciate that.
a major accomplishment. And first of all, people don't know that's an entire industry, right? Sports medicine is a whole $1 billion industry, right? People spend literally billions of dollars on their bodies, from training to supplements to diet, wellness, nutrition. You can speak on it a lot better than I can, but I just say that to say that where you're at the University of Alabama, that is one of the premier destinations for athletic trainers, people in the athletic training space, right? People they grind their whole careers to get to a university like Alabama. It may not even be Alabama, it can be Oregon. Someplace like that, Nike University,
Nike,
otherwise known as Oregon, or
best
it could
athletic
be
training room ever.
uh-huh.
You know that.
See, you know because you're
You
in
know
the
I know.
field. You're in the field, right? So people who are in the know, they know. And so, wow, it is amazing that you are starting at Alabama. And I am so happy for you. I wish you nothing but success, nothing less. You've been grinding for this a lot. We've talked a lot off camera about just life and a lot of the things that we are dealing with, a lot of the obstacles that we have, and the things that we have to get over. And so I am well aware of the things that you've had to overcome. And I'm so proud of you, so thankful. And I know you're going to kill it. You are going to kill it. Yeah, that's that black excellence right there. That's that black girl magic.
Hey,
You
that's
know.
what I'm
So,
saying.
well,
Hey,
good.
generational baby, we got to keep it going.
That's right. That is right. So,
Yes, yes,
Um, and we're also doing the same thing by doing our creative pursuit with this podcast, right?
yes,
So,
yes.
we were thinking of a topic today, and you did the last topic,
I
and
did.
so I am going to kind of jump off on this topic. And this has been something that, it's kind of been on my mind, in the back of my head. And I think that this is something that we can both kind of launch on. And I think that this will be a good conversation.
Let's go.
The topic that I would like to discuss today is being in your mid 30s, looking for love, a relationship, marriage, a family, kids, the whole thing, right? What about those of us who are in this stage in our lives and who are essentially starting over? What are the challenges that we are experiencing? What works? What's working? What's not working? What are we dealing with at this age? What are the things that we did not foresee 10 years ago when we were 25? And how can we take some of the lessons that we're learning? and uh, avoid some of these pitfalls and just kind of do better. Okay, so that's kind of what I would like to start off on. And I will just start off by giving a little bit of a description of where I'm at in my life, right? And please do not grab the violin. Um, I am a single black man. I'm 35 years old. I consider myself eligible because I have a bachelor's degree and I have no criminal history. I come and go as I please. I make my own money. I'm a smart, intelligent person. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But I'm confident. I'm content enough. Um, I'm having issues with dating now. I can't find someone to bond with. I haven't even gotten close to being engaged or being married. Never been engaged, never been married. I do have one child. I have a son, and he's growing up on me. He's about to be 13 in 3 months. So he's a teenager, and shit, in a little while, he's going to be grown. So I say that to say I'm pretty much doing good by black man standards. I ain't got, you know, hella kids over here and
It's okay.
buku kids over there.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just, I'm chilling. But I'm having a lot of trouble finding that one. And I do want that. I want that badly. The issues that I'm having are the women that I deal with nowadays that are in my age group, they don't want kids. They don't want any more kids. Most of the women that are 35 have already had their children, and they don't want any more. Or if a woman has not had her children by now, she doesn't want to have children, right? So it presents a big problem when you're talking about life goals and what do we want to get out of this life before the sand runs out of the hourglass, right? That's a big issue if one person says, well, I want some more kids, and the other person says, well, I don't, right? You got some decisions that you need to make. And I've never been one to try to force a woman to be on my program. My motto is don't force if it don't fit. You feel me? So I I only want a woman who wants to do what I want to do. And I mean, I don't have to persuade her. I don't have to try to, you know, finesse her into, seeing things my way. I just want it to be naturally that's what she sees for her life, what I see for my life, and that's how I've always tried to approach relationships. If I have to spit all of my game and play all of my tricks and do everything that I can do to try to get you to be, on my team, then that means that I have to be on all the time and I have to be at my 100% on my A game all the time. And the moment that I'm not, you're going to wonder why you're not getting that same me that you were getting. Well, where's that nigga at? Where's the nigga I met? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I don't want no kind of woman like that I have to play all of my cards in order to
Right.
win. Like, yeah, you want someone who can see the goodness in you, even when it's not showing right then. Especially
Right.
because you know my history. I mean, there's been times where I done started over a few times now.
Right.
Like um, we done talked on the phone before in moments where I was sleeping on somebody's couch, or hey, what's going on with you, cuz? Oh man, man, I got kicked out of the house, or oh man, I'm over here and I got to get up out of this spot, and I got to figure out where I'm going and blah blah blah. Cuz, do you got a few dollars you can send me? We've been there where
Yeah.
I was doing
Mhm.
bad, leaning on you to for help, and so. Thank God it's not like that no more. I got my own spot. You know what I'm saying? Let me, so it's not like that no more. Thank God. But
Yeah.
what does a man do once he finally gets his ducks in a row? You
Yeah.
start looking for somebody that you can share it with, right?
Right.
And
Hmm.
so that's where I'm at because I personally believe that, yeah, success, accomplishments, all that shit is cool. But if you don't have nobody to share it with, it's next to worthless. Now, that's
Yeah.
my personal philosophy.
Hmm.
If you don't believe that, people, audience, that's totally fine. Um, but me personally, I believe that as a man, there's no other point in life for us but to find a woman and build a life with her and go through life together and pass it on down. Whether you pass it on to your kids or you leave it to the community or somebody you find a worthy cause to, devote your time to. Somehow you got to pass it on and leave this world a better place than you found it. But I'm having trouble finding somebody to do that with. And as many women as out here, they say women outnumber men like 3-1 in some ratios. And I'm a professional corporate man, and I see black women every day. I see a black woman that I wouldn't mind getting to know or taking it further and seeing what's up with. But it's they don't. It doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, anyways, those are the challenges that I'm having, and I'd like to know, what you are seeing on your end, and what kind of experiences are you having at this stage in life?
Well, to unpack.
Yeah, yeah.
So as you know, but our audience does not. You and I have very similar stories. Like it's almost like we're almost on the same track in life. It's like we
Yeah,
always align in what's going on.
that's right.
So, I'm 36. I'll be 37 soon,
Okay,
and I'm single, no children,
okay.
and I have the same issue you have, which is
Hmm.
so interesting to me that you and I have very similar issues with that. Like,
Wow.
I want to be married. I want to have children. That's what I want.
Right.
Now, I usually do date dudes that are a little bit older than me, but not to
Okay.
the extent where, they're super old.
Right. Not old men.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
just like 3 or 4 years older than me.
Okay. Okay.
And
One generation above.
kind of, yeah,
One or
like
two generations above
slightly
you.
younger than my brother.
Right. Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I've seen is now I don't know exactly the feedback you've gotten from females, but the feedback I've gotten from men when I'm like, okay, this is what I want, I'm single, blah, blah, blah. And, not to go down my entire resume, but,
Shit, how much time we got in the show? No, we got time. We got
I
time.
hold 3 collegiate degrees. I am
Wow.
I'm a healthcare professional certified to do medical
Wait
things.
a minute. Say that again. Start from the top. You got how many?
3
You got three
collegiate degrees.
collegiate degrees. You got 3 degrees.
Yes.
All right.
I'm a licensed massage therapist.
All right.
Like I said, I'm an athletic trainer.
Oh, okay,
Um,
that's 5.
I'm funny. Like,
I mean, but who's counting?
oh my God. And, I do a lot of stuff. I'm on a
Right.
couple of boards for the state for athletic trainers.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know, I'm
Yeah.
busy. I'm busy. I
Yeah.
used to be a teacher. So I
Right.
feel like I have a lot to give. Also,
Absolutely.
like,
Absolutely.
going off of just like little personality things, one thing I got from my family bloodline is this compassion gene.
Okay.
Like, very, like,
Speak on that. Speak on that.
when I meet these dudes and they're like, so how many kids do you have?
Mm.
None. You ever been pregnant? I've actually been asked if I've been pregnant before. And I was like, no.
Wow. Wow. And I'm sure
And
that I know why they asked that. They're asking.
I know
They're asking to
exactly.
see if your lady parts work.
That's exactly it. That's
That's
exactly
kind of
it.
that's kind of a backhanded way of saying like, hey, is your plumbing working? Like,
Well, that honestly, that's what comes next. What's wrong with you?
wow,
And I'm
just
like,
like that.
it's like that. And it's so funny because you hear all these dudes,
Wow,
like you go on the internet where everybody got an opinion, and all you see is, oh, I'm not dealing with no women. They got all these baby daddies and da 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 da. Then you get a woman that comes to you that ain't got none, and it's,
right,
oh, well, what's wrong with you? And
right,
I'm like, how about I know how to stay the course for what I want in my life?
right,
You know,
right,
if I am sexually active, birth control is a thing that actually exists. Now, is it 100% all the time? No, but it's pretty good. It's
right,
pretty darn good.
right.
So, like, it's almost like I have to. This is the term I usually use. It's almost like I have to try out just to get you to want to even consider dating me, because I'm
Wow.
telling you, I have been put through the ringer. Well, can you cook? Absolutely, I can cook. Well, can you clean
Yeah, I see what you're
the closet?
saying. Like,
Like, honestly, it's like I can't just. Sometimes it feels like I can't just be me. And then usually when you
wow.
find people, like I've come across men that, let's try. But at the end of the day, it's almost like they were wearing a mask to portray
Yes.
something they think
Okay.
I want to see.
Okay.
And I'm straight up honest about myself. Like one thing about me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm goofy, I'm a nerd. Like I got anime tattoos on my body. Like
Uh
I
huh.
sit up and I watch cartoons
Uh
and
huh.
I like to joke but I also like to read and I like to go sit by the river and go hiking and things
Right.
like
Right.
that.
But you also like trash TV and nigga shit. You know.
I do occasionally dabble.
You dabble. You
Dabble.
dabble. Okay.
But
You
well,
see, and that's what's. But that's supposed to be a what do you call it? A bonus. That's supposed to be a plus. That we have all these sides where we can be bougie and we can be
yeah,
hood and we can be nerdy and we
no,
can be
yeah.
all of these things, right?
But
But
it ends up
sometimes it ends up being a issue of compatibility.
right. I'm not gonna lie. One time I had a dude tell me we can't be together because we're not compatible, and I was like, "Why are we not compatible?" I mean, I knew why we weren't compatible, but I wanted to know his reason. And this
Right.
dude said, "You watch Dragon Ball Z, and I don't." And I'm gonna tell you something. This is about to blow your mind. This happened 2 years ago,
Wow.
and so
I
it,
mean, I
it
don't watch Dragon Ball Z, but if I did get with somebody who did, I would at least try to get into it. I've heard so many good things about it that I would give it a shot. That's what you do when you like somebody. You're supposed to
right,
try to like what they like,
right.
because
And if you
when you
don't
get
like
with
it, you don't
somebody,
like it.
yeah, when you get with somebody, what's important to them is supposed to be important to you,
Right.
and for real. What they care about, you have to care about, you
Right.
know?
Hmm.
And you may not you may not care. You may not have ever had any connection with it before, but that's why they say when you marry somebody, you're marrying their family, you're marrying their friends, because that's who's important to that person. They love those people. They care about those people. So you have to care about them. If it's important to you, it's important to me. And that's how I've always been as a man. And that's the cancer in me. We're very empathetic, beings. We're very we care about your feelings. We're definitely I don't know. I've always been described by my exes as a very caring and loving boyfriend. Like I make sure that I am cognizant of what's important to you and showing you that I care and that I'm going to try to, even if I'm not good at it or even if I'm not interested in it, I am going to try to,
Yeah.
make it a priority. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I end up getting is I end up getting women who only care about their shit, only care about their lives. Sometimes you get with people who, when you're like that, you find yourself making their shit a priority and what they care about, you care about. But you get these people who they don't do the same thing to you, right? So, what about the people that I love? You know what I'm saying? What about the people that I care about?
Yeah.
I got shit going on in my life that's important to me. And I need that to be a priority for you. If you're gonna be my woman, it may not be important to you. You may not care. You may not give a fuck. But because I give a fuck, you're supposed to. And that's what I'm looking for in a woman. You gotta care about what I care about. And I mean, I don't want to say that this is all women because it definitely isn't, but the vast majority of the ones that I come across only care about their lives, their careers, their shit, and I find myself pouring into their life, as far as, hey, babe, okay, you're at this level now. What's the next step? What do you need to start, and how do you get there? What do we need to start working on? Oh, there's a professional certification that you need to say. All right, well then you know what? Bam, I'm gonna buy the books for you, and when you come home, I'm gonna have the study materials that you can. So at the end of the year, boom, we're gonna take this test. We're gonna get you to the next level because that's what you need to do to get to your level, and I'm gonna support you in getting there. So that's my job as a man. That's the type of shit that you can do as a man to make yourself valuable that doesn't have a dollar sign attached to it. So that's why when men always say, you know, when women always say, only get with a nigga that has his money right and only got his shit together, I always be like, that's bullshit. Because a real man knows who he is, whether he got a million fucking dollars or whether he ain't got a Buffalo head nickel to his goddamn name. And that's always been me. I've always knew who I was, and I always knew when I was sleeping on couches and when I was sleeping in the back seat of my car, I always knew that that wasn't going to be my end and my destination. I knew who I was, and I knew that I was destined for great things. So money doesn't make or break me. I can lose it all and I'm still going to believe in me and I'm still going to approach you and be like, hey, girl, you man, let me get your number. Let me talk to you. Hey, come here, just because shit, if I ain't got nothing, I still got something to offer you. I'm still valuable even if I ain't got no money. So that's just a little side tangent, that I want people to understand, especially if you're a male and you're watching this, and don't let your money define you. The money doesn't make the man, you know?
Right.
And so you really do. You got to be careful with this high value man shit and all that shit. Man, that stuff is bullshit. And anybody who, I mean, you can believe in it if you want, but if you tie yourself to your career, your accomplishments, and your dollar, your net worth, then when you suffer a setback and the rug gets pulled out up under you and they backdoor you and they snake you and you got fired, you lost your job, then that's going to start to fuck with your self confidence and it's going to start to make you doubt yourself, and then you won't be able to bounce back and get into the next situation because you're too busy crushed because you lost something. Don't let that stuff define you. You are who you are, whether you got it or whether you don't. That's why I've always said a good person can see it in you before they see it on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can see it on somebody if they shining. They got jewelry, they got, clothes, and they got, things. You can tell when somebody is doing well, right? But can you see value in a person? Can you see it in them? Not on them, but can you see that, oh, okay, that's a valuable person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she may not have a lot going for her right now, but she has the things that can go out and get that. You got to be able to read people and see value in people before you see value on them, because everybody wants the person that is shining. Everybody wants that person, but can you find somebody that is valuable and that can go out and get all those things before they get it? So that's just a little side note that I wanted to get off on. But what other, what other?
Well, I do know, because I did ask. Well, let me back up a little bit. One thing I will say is most of my uh, data for my thought process with this dating thing
Mm.
comes from the times that I decided to do this online dating thing.
Huh.
Plenty of
Okay.
Fish, you probably
Yeah,
know
let's
what it's
talk about that.
called.
Let's
Plenty
talk
of
about that. What'd you
Fish.
say? Say that again. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, you're fine. Plenty of Fish should be called like Plenty of Fuckers or Plenty of Frogs or whatever. Because let me tell you, and here's what's funny to me: two of my closest friends have met their husbands on there.
Wow.
Right? Okay, so
All
look,
right.
I jump on there and I get Boo Boo the Fool, his cousin, his uncle, his granddaddy, and like
Yes.
the men that would send messages to, and I even did an experiment one time when I set up a profile without a picture.
Wow.
And what's interesting is I got similar messages, right?
Wow.
Because we know what those people are looking for, first of all.
Yep. Yep.
But
Exactly.
even beyond that, I had one man one time. He's like, so tell me about yourself. And he's like, oh, did you go to school? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, where'd you go to school? And I was like, and I gave him the list.
Right.
And he said, oh, I can't talk to you. You be doing too much.
Oh.
And I was like, okay.
Translation. I like them dumb. And I like them that where I don't need to do too much to get them. Well,
Or
you
you get the
dodged a bullet
right.
there.
Oh, of course I did. And or you get the men who again say what that you need to hear so they can get what they want from you.
Yeah. Okay. For
Or
sure. Uh huh.
what else did I come across? Oh, I had one man because speaking of starting over, 3 years ago, um, I got into a work situation that put my health and my life at risk,
Oof.
and so I had to leave my job as a teacher
Yeah.
and all that. And I moved back home to my parents because I am blessed enough to have parents that say, you can always come back home.
That's right. That's
And
right.
like, I'm very thankful for that.
Uh-huh. And
So,
then we all know what's been going on in the world and in our
right.
economy. A lot of us have had to do that just
Yep.
because that's just been the reality of what's going on and in
Yep.
this economy. This is our economy now. Like we're the
Yes.
ones that are off into this trying to make a way. So this
Right.
is what we have to deal with, layoffs
Right.
and recessions and, credit freezes and credit crunches and, all of the ups and downs and the bull and the bear market, all of that shit. Like that's our daily reality now. Our parents, they've made their money. They got their
Right.
money working for them now. It's coming back to them. They're having Medicare, Medicaid, retirement, pensions, and stuff like that. They put in their work, and now they're able to kind of, even if they're not all the way stop working or stop doing stuff. This isn't their work. They're not in the peak of their working
Right.
years
Right.
now.
Right.
We are.
Yeah.
35
They
is
already have
your.
the
This is
house and
where
stuff.
you kick it into gear and get into off into like your real money in your careers, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely in that area where this is our years, this is our prime, so to speak.
Right. And so, having to move back home was actually a really tough decision for me.
Mm.
But what I will say, kind of a tangent, is that I know that it was God led because the job that I got offered, I never applied for. They
Wow.
called me and said, hey, I know you live here, but we have an opening down in Dothan, Alabama.
Huh.
What do you think about it? And I was like, well, actually, my parents live 5 minutes around the corner from your office. And so I got that job. But
Yeah.
so I'm living at home, I'm making my money, I'm not bothering nobody. And this dude, he starts talking to me, and we got to the point where we actually exchanged numbers.
Hmm. Okay.
And he was actually a really nice guy. He owned his own food truck. Like he was a really nice guy.
All right.
And one day we were on the phone and he asked me what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm about to go talk to my dad. He's like, oh, you're over at your dad's house. I was like, well, yeah, we live in the same house. He's like, oh, your dad stay with you? I was like, no, I stay with him. And he was like, I'll call you back.
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, but there is a he owns his own food place now, and I just tell people kind of not to patron him.
Yeah.
But now, again, I'm not
Right.
mad at him. Like, if you have your standards, you have your standards. Nothing
Right.
wrong with that. But my thing was, we talked so much that you didn't even know my why.
Right.
And sometimes the why really is important. I mean,
It
and
hella
we
is
all
hella
walked around
important.
singing No Scrubs. We all walked around singing it. But what I will say is, in hindsight, that song was very toxic for our generation.
Right. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
made us, especially females, it made us way more judgmental about things that, and I'm going to get called to pick me. I know this is about to happen, but we require so much from men that we're not willing to provide for ourselves. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? And when I have
yeah.
those kinds of stances and stuff, it feels like I intimidate men because I'm not going to ask you for your money ever.
Mm,
I will sit up here and be hungry before I ask you for a dollar.
mm-hmm.
And it's not, part of it is pride, but part of it is that's not your job to take care of me right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Not
if
right
you're my
now.
boyfriend and you choose to do something for me, I'm
Yeah.
appreciative of it.
Right.
But I'm not
If
gonna
we
be
start
like,
to, go
yeah,
like that, then yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, if you can't buy me some Louboutins, I can't talk to you. I can't buy me no
Yeah.
Louboutins.
Exactly.
I
Right.
barely can buy me some Nikes.
Right. Right.
But then I talked to a guy who, he's my high school crush. I'm not gonna shout him out because he already knows who he is.
Okay.
But we kind of sort of dated one time. But
Okay.
we were on the phone back in October, and I was talking about my dating struggles because I had gotten out of a situation and it was bad. I had gave somebody a second chance after 10 years or after 6 years,
Mm,
and it turned out the same way it turned out 6 years ago.
mm.
And I was like, I don't understand. I was like, it is so crazy to me that all of my exes, any dude I ever used to talk to, if I go to them, if I call any of them right now and be like, yo, so and so just yelled at me, or so and so just called me a B word, or so and so just put his hands on me, every single one of the dudes that have ever dealt with me would be ready to kill so and so.
That's right. All right.
But all of them have hurt me in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, so straight up, you tell me. I was like, because you were the worst. He already knows. Like, we
Mm.
have a, he calls it a love hate relationship. I call it a
Oh.
hate relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Okay.
like you, but unfortunately, I love you. But he was like, he was like, the problem with you, because I was like, it's amazing how all of y'all broke my heart, almost with no remorse. It seems like,
Mm,
but y'all ready to jump down the throat of any other man that hurts
mm,
you.
mm-hmm.
And he was like, because you're special. I was like, what does that even mean? Because that just sounded stupid. And that's how I talked to him. And he was like, you're the kind of female that a dude can really do like what he desires to do. So you're the one that you're gonna take me on a picnic. You're gonna take me hiking. We're gonna go paint or something. And he was like, honestly, real niggas don't want that. And I was like, what? I was like, first of all, I don't want no man that calls himself a real nigga because we're 30 some years old. He was like, because he was like, you can't, what did he say? You can't have, what did he say? I forgot the exact words he used, but essentially he was saying that men don't want me because they feel like they would be made too soft because I would encourage them to explore things outside of what society considers masculine. Like if
That is a
you
nigga
like,
that just is insecure in his damn self.
yeah,
Because that ain't any
it
nigga
don't make
who
sense,
has,
right?
huh?
It makes zero
It
sense,
makes
right?
zero sense.
Zero.
Any man who has even had a rough life, whether you done been in the streets or whether you done grown up and had a hard time coming up,
Yep.
the one thing that you want in your life is peace. That's what you seek if
Yep.
you are a real okay, the real definition of a real nigga who has really been through some things in his life and is trying to get to a place in his life that is better and peaceful. That's what you want. You want
Right.
somebody to mellow you out, soften you out, taking you out of those situations that you may have put yourself in the past, and keep you out of those situations. That's what you want if you're a real nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, but if you're a man like that who feels like he has something to prove, or who is obsessing about his perception and how he is seen to his peer group and his family and his women or whatever, and maybe don't maybe feels insecure about how he is viewed, yeah, he's gonna say things like that. He's gonna be
Yes.
worried about you changing him because he wants to be
Right.
seen a certain way, and
Right.
he just can't, he can't take being seen for, less than, or be, yeah, that's
He's
that
worried about
type
what
of,
everybody else is thinking. And
yeah.
I told him that. And but when he said that, what it did was, we all know I'm a deep thinker. And what happened was it triggered some other thoughts for me
Mm,
to sit back and examine, looking at the guys I've dated in the past or dealt with. Because to be honest, I've only been in 3 official relationships
okay.
in my entire life.
Hmm.
Now, I'm the queen of a situationship. I promise you, I'll
Yeah.
situationship you to death, baby. But one thing I noticed was none of them were the same, but they were all the same.
They were all,
It was the same person in a different package.
wow,
And
wow.
a lot of these guys actually have really, really deep mother wounds, not father
Okay,
wounds,
okay,
mother wounds.
yeah,
And I know once, well, this was part of this was because I dated somebody a decade younger than me,
okay.
but
Hmm.
I've been accused of being mothering because that's who I am. And I'm not saying I'm overbearing, but I want to make sure everybody's always
You're
taken care of.
nurturing.
I am. I get it from my mom. It's a curse. I hate it.
That's not a curse. That's not a curse. It's only a
It
curse
is when you don't
to
like
the,
people.
yes, right. It's a curse to the wrong type of person. It's a curse to the person that don't know how to receive that energy
Right.
and doesn't know how to respond to that energy.
And many of the men I've dealt with don't. Because again, it's
Mm.
just, honestly, I'm too nice. I'm too understanding.
And that is our problem as men. That's one thing that we as black men have to, we gotta fix, right? Um, we fuck up good things all the time. And a lot of it is because we don't know how to deal with it. Either we're not equipped or we just haven't seen it yet and it surprises us and we don't really know how to handle it. But every black man can name one or more women that he definitely just, that she was good to him and he fucked it up, right?
I am so sick of apologies. Like this, that's not even
I
consistency.
know, I know
Like
though,
that is not
but
consistency
it,
coming from
yeah,
me.
it
But literally
that doesn't
all of
make you
the
feel no
people I've
better,
ever
right?
dated, yeah,
It
every
don't
time I've
make you
ever
feel no
dealt with,
better.
they're like, "Yo, you really were a good one."
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
every single dude I've
right.
ever
Like I don't want to hear that afterwards.
right, because then it's like, okay, well, me, right? Like that's your sorry, so you can move on with the next girl. Because
uh,
I've always, every time I deal with a dude, in most cases, after me, I swear to God, half of them find their forever. It's like
wow,
I set them up. Like, okay, how you
wow.
doing?
So
Like, bro,
you're saying that every time you have a relationship and that relationship ends, the next person that they deal with ends up being like the person that they marry or have a kid by or have their forever thing with.
or at least at the very minimum, have a kid with. But check this out.
Wow, something
But let's talk
permanent.
about let's talk
Something
about permanent.
permanent.
Let's talk about permanent. Let's talk about permanent because
Okay. All right.
half of them
Wait.
that ended up with a baby
Okay.
got the bummiest baby moms they could ever have.
All right. Now look, I know that that may be a mind, that may mess with your mind, but that's just the law of probability.
Oh, yeah.
I just want you
Oh, I
to
understand
not,
that.
don't carry that with you. Don't be like,
Oh,
why do they always move on to go get whatever married kid,
they
whatever.
never cheated in me.
That's just what happens.
Oh yeah, I know. Honestly, to be honest with you, it doesn't phase me because I'm also that person that's like, I really just, again, I just want everybody to be happy. So
Yeah.
like my ex, I have an ex
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
we broke
I
up
say that same
4 years
thing.
ago. We broke up 4 years ago, and he called me last year and told me, he was like, I wanted to let you know I'm in a relationship. And we talked on the phone for 2 hours.
Wow.
And at the end of the call, it was, I'm glad you're happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
honestly, it's not a farce. Like, I'm glad he's happy because, like, people say there's no such thing as unconditional love. I don't agree with that. I think
Hmm.
relationships are conditional. I think once you've allowed yourself to love somebody, yes, you can get to a point where you hate them. Yes, you can get to a point where you don't deal with them. But for the most part, most of us still have love for the people that we have loved in the past.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
have love for somebody, then you
Yeah,
want that person to be happy and successful.
yeah, yeah.
And then once again,
That's
that
definitely
also,
me.
because
Mm-hmm.
then people are like, because then you meet a dude and it's like, why you got all these male friends? I was like, well, first of all, I've always had male. I work in athletics. I've always
Right,
been athletic.
right.
So I
Uh
have
huh. You
male friends.
yes.
And well, oh, you used to deal with him. How? Why is he texting you? He's texting me, hey, how are you? I'm just checking on you. And that's usually what it is. Like I have friends that I might not have seen in 10 years,
Mm.
and every 5 or 6 months, what up, big head? What you doing?
Right.
And so it's I don't know that there's an answer for either of us. At the end of the day, because
That's why we started this damn podcast. That's why we're doing this right
yes,
now.
yes,
This is like one part therapy, but then
it
like
is.
another part creative pursuit. You know, this is just kind of like an intersection of a hobby versus a need in my life.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Now,
uh,
one thing I will say that has made it easier for me.
mm,
One thing that has worked that didn't work before is I have gotten to the point where I can finally fully accept rejection and not call it rejection.
okay.
So, I got a couple that are semi trying to pursue me right
Mm,
now. And, you know, I'm honest because I used to fear rejection so much
yeah.
that I wasn't I won't say honest because I hate lying, but I wasn't transparent.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I pulled what some of these dudes have pulled with me. I fill you out to see what
Right.
you want out of me.
Right.
But for me, it wasn't out of any kind of callousness. It was out of a desire to be wanted. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I didn't want myself. And so I had to learn how to want me. So now that I get to that point where I have that more confidence in myself and I'm okay with being by myself and not necessarily always being wanted,
Mm,
it makes it easier for me to communicate with these guys and it makes it easier for me to set boundaries. And the boundaries push people away, but the boundaries also keep the right ones in.
that's right. All
So
right.
we all know that, I told you, I'm dealing with a situation right now, but at the end of the day, whether the situation ends up working out or not, I'm gonna be all right.
Couple things. Well, the first thing is we aren't going to solve this in one conversation or one go.
Okay.
We are dealing with issues that are there are intersections of a lot of different things. You know,
Yeah.
you can pick either any one of these things that we've talked about, and you can make it its own thing, right? But the one thing that we have to realize now, and I'm talking now to everybody, just people watching and everything. We have to realize that now, with the lives that we have now, we're not kids, we're not young adolescents no more. So life is complicated for all of us now.
Hmm.
You know, we have everybody has a situation or several, you know, situations. You know, you're not gonna get anybody that just has like a blank slate in that is just with you or that can just be with you and don't have no kind of, I don't want to say baggage, but baggage that has to be worked out or worked through, you know.
Hmm.
Um, Everybody that you're going to meet from now on is going to have something like that unless you go and pluck somebody at 18 years old, you know.
Right.
So you have to start to distinguish between the stuff that you can live with
Right.
and the things that are absolute deal breakers to you, and everybody has what they have those things. But
Hmm.
what I see here, well, what I see now is that people are passing up on things that you're kind of gonna have to start to live with if you can. If that's not a complete deal breaker to you, you're going to have to realize that you got to put up with stuff.
Right.
People are going to have issues, whether that be hangups, quirks, flat out habits or peculiarities, quirks, all types of things that make up who they are, right? And you can't have one without the other, and
Right.
so you're gonna have to start to decide what you can deal with, what you can put up with, and what you can't, and that's everybody measures that differently. So I'm not going to tell you that you can't have standards or you can't have boundaries, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think we have to start to get out of this notion that we're going to find somebody that's just set up
Perfect.
and ready to go, perfect for us. Yeah, they may
Yep.
be perfect for you, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to have things that are complicated about them
Right.
that
Right.
are going to have to be worked out or worked through.
Right. We
Um,
all got baggage.
right, baggage.
We all got it.
We are at 45 minutes,
Woo!
so I
Got
know,
deep.
I know,
We got deep today.
I know. It just went. It just went. So I want to wrap it up, but I
Yeah.
just want to give you, if you want the floor, I want to allow you to get off anything that you wanted to say. But other than that, man, this was a good one. We
This is a
really
good one.
explored what what we're dealing with. At this age, and I have a feeling that when people see this, they are also going to
No, that's me.
yeah, they're also going to identify with a lot of the things that we have talked about today. There's this we're all going through the same shit, like
Yep.
this is life for us now. We are not kids, we're not teenagers, we're not young adults no more. We are adults that are
We are
off
the
into our
adults.
lives,
Yeah.
yeah, like we got lives now and this is our world and we're trying to cope with it and we're trying to make something out of it, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Whew.
but beneath all of that, I have a unyielding belief that I'm going to be all right and I'm going to be happy and I'm going to find what I'm looking for. I just believe that. I've always believed that. And I think that's one reason that has kept me going in all of these circumstances where either I fucked up or just, I had to start over and,
Right.
or I just, something just came and pulled the rug out under me and I just, hit the curb and was just completely in a jam. That's what has gotten me past all of those moments is that, I know I'm going to be all right, So whether it happens tomorrow or whether it happens 10 years from now, it's going. I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna be straight.
You are. You are.
Um. Well, do you have anything that you would like to add?
No, I think we hit what we are supposed to hit tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I think this conversation right here has left enough for anybody listening, including yourself and me, myself and you, Jesus.
Mm.
Uh, it's going to leave us with some stuff to think about, actually.
Yeah.
It is. Because
Yeah.
now I'm sitting up here trying to figure out how you and I have the same problem. And, you know, like,
Right.
hold up. He don't want kids, she don't want kids. Why don't them two get together?
Right. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me tonight. Because
All
my
right.
brain's about fried anyway.
You said what?
I said my brain's about fried anyway.
I know. I know. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on. You're moving. You're unpacking. You are settling into your new city. You're in a new city, a new situation. So it's exciting, but it is overwhelming. You know,
Dang.
it's definitely it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I wish you nothing but the best. I know you're going to be fine, and I know you're going to build your village out there. I know you're going to do it, and I'm excited to see what comes from this. And I congratulate you again. And we're gonna just keep going on this journey, and let's try to figure this stuff out as all of these amazing things are happening. Right.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. This has been the His and Hers podcast with Jontae and Sharell. Man, we appreciate you. God bless you. Have a good night. And shit, we posting this live tonight, right?
Let's
So
go.
happy Sunday and have a
Yes,
good
happy
work week,
Sunday.
y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Good night, y'all.